Hi everyone. Today's video is going to show similarities and differences between borderline personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. BPD and PD is what I'm going to call it today. I get so many questions over so many years, are they this, are they that, are they both? And I see so much people saying that somebody I know, somebody I dated that abused me, that hurt me, punished me, has both, is definitely both. So I'm hoping that this video will help clarify the differences and similarities between these two disorders for you guys. I know it's that most of you guys have had someone in your life, have someone in your life now, hopefully not, that has these disorders and has traumatized you badly. And you want to understand what happened and why. Not knowing why someone hurts us that we cared about causes shame, and guilt, and self-doubt. So I hope that this video helps you guys heal from that a little bit, okay? So first I want to start with that these are two different disorders. They each have very distinct diagnostic criteria that separates them. They're both spectrum, okay? And everybody's different. Believe it or not. I know we think that these people are like cookie cutters of themselves, but they're not. We're talking about personalities, and everyone's different, like fingerprints. Everyone, from male and female, or just different brains. We all have different brains. Our upbringing is different. We react differently. Our culture may be different, okay? Really shapes who we are, who we become, and with them too. There's also comorbidity. It's very common for people to be diagnosed with two different personality disorders, and I know of specific people that have been diagnosed with both of these, BPD and PD. Okay, so it does happen. Just realize that there's lots of overlapping traits. Okay, I think the big one is empathy. We know that narcissists severely lack empathy, and we know people who have been diagnosed with borderline who appear to lack empathy. And so I hope that I can explain this for you guys today, but please ask questions. So we know that people with narcissistic personality disorder have a pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, a lack of empathy, a sense of entitlement, and can be very envious people. We know that people with borderline personality disorder have a fear of abandonment. They idealize and devalue people. They have an unstable sense of who they are, their own self. They may be suicidal. They are unable to regulate their emotions, and they may dissociate. So, similarities and differences. These are all by my experiences and the knowledge that I have, and I'm not claiming I know anything. It's just things I think I know and have learned. Both can be extremely, or have been, neglected and abused in childhood. Both. Even narcissists, a very common way that we think that narcissists weren't neglected or abused. They were given everything they needed physically. They were pushed to succeed, things like this. Completely neglected of what they emotionally needed and never allowed to develop their true self. They both lack self-awareness. They both seem to be very exploitative, be very neglectful of your needs, can be very manipulative, lie and cheat, loose morals. And both are very rigid and lack accountability. Yeah. So here's why they look the same. And this is the part I hope that gets to you guys and helps you understand that things that look the same but are a little different. Okay. So and another thing is very common is other mental illnesses, anxiety disorders, could be eating disorders, addiction disorders, depressive disorders, sexual disorders, things like this, okay? But here's why they can look the same. They're both very contradicting, yeah? Lacking self-awareness. The borderline has such a fragmented self where the narcissist completely rejects themselves, okay? Personality disorders, they don't look at themselves. They don't think that they have a problem, okay? But I think it's a little bit different because the narcissist wants to be so grand. You know, they think they're so grand. It's their ego. They build that ego up. Where borderline doesn't have very much awareness and knowledge of who they are. Fragmented, they might have just a part or two of themselves that they are aware of and they don't want to lose. The attention. Attention is huge. Now, if I was supposed to say that one personality disorder really seeks attention, it would actually be histrionic. They want to be the center of attention. And when they're not, they'll let you know. They'll do all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. But narcissists really seek admiration. They want to be admired for their ego. Whereas the borderline seeks attention for help. Not so much attention seekers, but contact seekers. Made a video about that a couple weeks ago if you guys want to watch that. The beginning of relationships are good. They're great, yeah, for both. But the narcissist is laying down the groundwork of how they want to be treated. They treat you really, really good, and then eventually it's your turn. See that? But the borderline is having a hormonal reaction. Due to their trauma they had in childhood, their nervous system doesn't work properly. They don't get the feel-good hormones, just an abundance of stress chemicals. Okay? And meeting you makes those feel-good hormones released again. Idealization. They both idealize. Okay? But a little bit different reasons. A narcissist will idealize love. Okay? It's to serve them. The entitlement they have. They care about status and looks, arm candy. Or my wife or husband has a really high status job. We make lots of money. Striving for perfectionism with another person. But the borderline wants someone to help them feel well. Someone to carry them. Just made a video about that yesterday, if you're interested in that. These are forms of objectification that they both do. Now, empathy. We know that there's different kinds of forms of empathy, but the basic part of it is just, I know how you feel. When you get deeper into that, it's, I feel it too. But the narcissist is so obsessed with their grandiosity, they lack empathy for others. Human connection. Made a video about that about a month ago. Where the borderline is lacking mindfulness. We have self-awareness of who we are, our emotions and stuff like this. And then we have awareness of what we're doing and how it affects others. That's something they severely lack. So you might see a borderline have these moments of deep empathy, sympathy even for what they have done in the beginning of the relationship. Towards the end, they seem to not care. Cold as hell. They're wrapped up in themselves, their own emotions, their own hormones, someone they just met. Okay? And they become less and less aware of how you feel and what they're doing to cause that. Projection. Projection is something someone does that cannot accept or manage something about themselves, and they want to project it onto someone close to them, usually, or an enemy, and you take that, you manage that part, not me. But a narcissist is doing that for perfectionism, okay? Whereas the borderline does it out of toxic shame, how much they truly, truly don't like themselves, hate themselves, don't know themselves, okay? Delusional. Believing things or holding to your beliefs even though reality is right in front of your face. You won't accept it. The narcissist can be very delusional. Delusions of grandeur. False or fake or unattainable things that they think about that they're going to be. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be powerful. I'm going to be very good looking. Whatever it might be. Ego. Again, where the borderline is delusional as a defense mechanism. Massive cognitive dysfunction. False narratives about people to protect themselves. Okay? The smear. We know that both are very capable of smearing you during a relationship and especially after a relationship. The borderline really believes you're bad. Again, defense mechanism. You're here to help me or hurt me. That's it. You're helping me, you're helping me, you're helping me. Oh, you don't make me feel good anymore. You're bad. You made me feel bad. You're a bad person. Borderline will believe that their emotions are reality, not just real. Our emotions are real, but they're not our reality. Okay? Where the narcissist wants to control you, may suffer from a narcissistic injury from you, wants to control you and gain admiration. They want to be the victim and the hero. Abandonment. We know, like I said earlier, that borderlines have a massive fear of abandonment. But when they end relationships, and when narcissists end relationships, it can be brutal. The narcissist has fully objectified you, and they discard you like garbage. Done with you. They may come back, try to use you again. But the borderline has been so dependent on you, and they've perceived that you're going to leave them. Usually depends on because you don't make them feel well anymore. They idealize someone else and find someone else to make them feel well. And they just abandon you. You're a bad person. I have to get away from you. These people are known to traumatize their partners, their family, their friends, other people. Get help, okay? If you've been involved with somebody with either of these personality disorders, and you're watching these videos, maybe depressed and feel bad, get help. Seriously. There's only one cure, and it's talking. There's nothing else that can supplement this. All right? Get help. Talk therapy is the only cure, okay? Now, I know there's many more similarities and differences. Please leave examples that you guys can think of. I left some open for you guys to do that. And any experiences, personal ones that you guys feel comfortable sharing, really can help this video and help others. Okay? If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. Anybody who wants coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. Love yourself first, guys. Thanks. Bye.